Hello everyone. Let us discuss the important news for April the 8th, 2020. So since the 21-day lockdown is coming to an end on 14th of April, the center has given a cue that the states want a longer lockdown. Since the lockdown is proving to be an effective check over the increasing cases of COVID-19, the states have expressed their willingness to continue with the lockdown even beyond 14th of April. Also, a group of ministers headed by Mr. Rajnath Singh has held consultations with various ministers and they are formulating a strategy to extend this lockdown. The center is also thinking about a big testing push in which tests will be conducted on a very large scale as the lockdown is entering the final and critical phase. So various state chief ministers like Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Ashok Gehlot of Rajasthan, Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao of Telangana, and Mr. T.S. Singh Deo, who is the Chhattisgarh Health Minister, have expressed their willingness to extend the lockdown beyond the 14th of April deadline set by the centre. Meanwhile, Congress interim president Ms. Sonia Gandhi has written to the Prime Minister suggesting various austerity measures in this time of economic as well as social crisis. So she has suggested various steps, including suspension of 20,000 crore worth Central Vista beautification project in the national capital Delhi. And she has also proposed to impose a ban on media advertisements in television, print and online by the government and public sector undertakings for a period of 2 years. And she has suggested that the money which will be saved from all these measures should be transferred towards the effort for tackling COVID-19 outspread. Delhi, meanwhile, has endorsed a 5T war against the coronavirus. So, Delhi CM Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has suggested a 5T strategy, which means the first step is testing. So, testing means on a very mass scale, which enables the actual data of people affected by novel coronavirus, like South Korea. So, in the South Korea, testing was done on a very massive scale, and Delhi government also has ordered testing for around 50,000 people in the first go. The second step will be tracing. So tracing involves identifying and quarantining people who have come in contact with infected persons. Until now, more than 27,000 contact numbers have been shared with the police through which they are tracing the movement of various contacts. The third step is after tracing, you have to go for treatment. So for that, various hospitals have been declared primary hospitals in Delhi for COVID-19 treatment with around 2,000 beds in place, and 2,500 more beds have been put in place for extensive treatment of those who have been found with symptoms of COVID-19. The fourth step is teamwork. So the fourth element, teamwork, means collective efforts to fight the virus. For this, all state governments must learn from each other and adopt the best practices, just like we discussed the Bhilwara model of ruthless clampdown to stop the spread of this disease. So yesterday in this video, we discussed the Bhilwara model to deal with COVID-19 breakdown. So we have to adopt best measures, and for that all the states need to share information and they need to adopt best practices that have been adopted. The fifth and last step is tracking and monitoring. So with tracking and monitoring, all those people who have recovered and all those people who have been found with the symptoms, they are tracked and they are monitored so that they do not contact the virus again. So this 5T model can be very helpful for other states as well. India has lifted the ban on the anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine. So this drug has been in news for quite some time now, because in a study in France, it was observed that hydroxychloroquine alone or in combination with azithromycin, it appeared to reduce virus levels quicker, prompting the drug regulators in several countries to include this drug into restricted list. However, the efficacy of this particular drug against COVID-19 is not fully proven yet. So it is yet under the trial stages, it is yet under the clinical trial stages whether this anti-malaria drug is useful against the COVID-19 spread. However, it has got quite the limelight after US President Donald Trump warned of retaliation against India in case India does not open the export of this drug to United States of America. So in India, around 200 million tablets every year are being produced of this particular tablet, and the demand in India usually is of 24 million tablets. Now it seems like India has surplus capacity as far as manufacturing hydroxychloroquine tablets is concerned. However, this 24 million demand is during the usual period. However, since now the COVID-19 outbreak is there, the demand for this particular drug is likely to go up once the efficacy of this drug is proven. But still, India earlier put a restriction on this, but now it has lifted the ban, apparently under the US pressure and also for humanitarian reasons. In a news that is different from the COVID-19 pandemic, China has emerged as the biggest source of applications for international patents in the world last year. So in 2019, China for the first time knocked down US to the second spot as far as applications for international patents are concerned. So it is granted by the World Intellectual Property Organization, which was founded in the year 1967, and it has its headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. It is one of the 15 specialized agencies of United Nations, and it works under the parent organization ECOSOC, that is Economic and Social Council, which is a principal organ of the United Nations. So this marks the China's 200-fold rise in just 20 years. Now this shows that China has been spending a lot and has been paying a lot of attention towards research and development, and the United States had filed the most applications in the world every year since the Patent Cooperation Treaty system came up in 1978. So for the first time since 1978, a country has been able to dethrone US from the top spot. Also, more than half of the patent applications, that is around 52.4% patent applications, now come from Asia, with Japan ranking third, followed by Germany and South Korea. Now this shows that in the top 5 countries, 3 countries are from Asia, that is China, Japan and South Korea. The World Intellectual Property Organization's head, Mr. Francis Gurry, told a news conference that China's success was down to a very deliberate strategy on the part of Chinese leadership to advance innovation and to make the country a country whose economy operates at a higher level of value. So for the first time, this trend has been seen, which is also one of the various other branches of the US-China rivalry. Since the Rabi harvesting season is round the corner, the states like Punjab, Haryana, which work as the granaries of India, they have expected and they have expressed their apprehension to the center government that the migrant labor be allowed to come back to Punjab, and the restrictions to be lifted sooner, and also the markets, that is the agricultural produce markets, should be opened so that the lifting of these food grains can be done. Otherwise, if this step is delayed or if there is lacunas in the implementation of this particular strategy, it could lead to a severe economic blow to the Indian agricultural sector. Now, since more than 60% of Indian population directly or indirectly depends on agriculture, so any hiccups or any blockages in the lifting process will lead to severe economic consequences for the poor, especially the farmers. So the farmers want crops to be lifted from the fields, and the states are working out strategies as to how to implement those measures. And for this, they have demanded the center's cooperation. So in this context, it is useful to know what is a minimum support price. So minimum support price is the price which is fixed by the government to be paid to the farmers for lifting of various agricultural produce. So this MSP is decided by the government on the recommendation of the CACP, which is the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. So thank you everyone. This has been the news analysis for 8th of April 2020.